Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's topic is desert biome, which is a type of a terrestrial biome. Till now we have studied about the tropical seasonal forest and the tundra biome, which are also the types of the terrestrial biome. And today we are going to study about the third type of terrestrial biome, that is the desert biome. So deserts occupy nearly 1/7 of the earth surface, which is present between the belt of the tropic of the Cancer and the Capricorn. So they present between tropic of Cancer and the Capricorn. Desert is the ecosystem of an arid land and which have a dry environment. So this is a definition of desert. Then the characteristics of desert. So first, less water, that is due to less rainfall and other sources of water. Other sources like lakes and rivers are absent there, so it has less resources of water. Then high temperature. So extreme temperature is in daytime and humidity is very low. At night the temperature falls tremendously. Why? Because the heat is radiated to the space, because earth's surface radiate the heat. So this is the second characteristics. Then third, that is the less vegetation. So because of less water, vegetation is unable to grow, because vegetation requires water to perform all their activities. So they are present only in very small area. They are succulent, that is they store water in their stems and prevent excessive evaporation, that is they have developed some sort of mechanisms like development of spines, etc. Then dust storms. So due to high temperature and lack of moisture, air movement increases and dust storms comes. Okay, then the type of the desert, that is first on the basis of the position. So first is polar deserts. So these are covered with ice and here climate is cold. So vegetation also cannot grow here. For example, these are found in Greenland and Antarctica region. Then the mid-latitude deserts, that is they are covered by mountains. So humid air is not able to reach the mountain area. What is the role of humid air? It generally brings rainfall. So rainfall doesn't reach here. Temperature is extreme. Example, Great Basin, the Patagonia and the Gobi Desert. Then the low latitude desert. So at mid part of 15 degree to 30 degree axis, that is on the earth's surface, we can say these are present. Example, the Sahara Desert, the Thar Desert and the Atacama Deserts. Then on the basis of temperature, deserts are also classified. First are hot deserts. So here rainfall is very less, or we can say absent, and temperature is at very extreme, that is at high level. Average rainfall of year, we can say, is less than 10 centimeter. Temperature is between 40 degree to 50 degree Celsius. For example, the Sahara Desert, the Gobi Desert and the Chile Desert. Then cold deserts. So they are situated at high altitude, that is at high heights, we can say. Temperature here is also very low, that is cold temperature is seen. Rainfall 13 centimeter is seen. For example, Ladakh Desert, Alps, and that is seen at Tibet. Then climate. What causes actually desert? What are the factors that result into the formation of desert? Here we can see. So we can say desert are the areas with very high pressure zone. So moisture can't be brought in by wind, because high pressure zone, so rainfall cannot happen here. Therefore there are very low precipitation level, or we can say rainfall level. So this is the position of a desert, that is 30 degree north and between 30 degree south, and these are the places where deserts are seen. Here warm moist air, okay, and cool dry environment was outer side, so moisture cannot reach there, so less rainfall was seen. Then seasonal variations. In summer, temperature is 30 to 49 degrees Celsius, very little precipitation and evaporation rate is very high because of high temperature. And in winter, 10 to 20 degrees Celsius, and most of the annual precipitation occur during this, that is winter time. Mostly the rainfall occur in that time only. Then diurnal variations, or we can say the variations or the changes that are seen during the daytime. Okay, so day extremes of temperature was seen, and at night, as we have discussed earlier, temperature reached below the 0 degree Celsius. Then the characteristics of the soil of a desert. So very low amount of organic material was there. low moisture content. Why? Because of low precipitation or rainfall level, few nutrients for the plants to grow again, and less plants. Okay, then that means less soil is held by their roots, that is they cannot hold much soil. So we can say wind erosion of soil is also seen there. So top layer of the soil, that is we it's known as humus, is eroded by wind. So nutrients of the topmost layer is lost, and then result is the bare soil. So there are so many types of animals that are found in the desert. They possess some sort of adaptations which we are going to discuss now. So first of all, for conservation of water, so impervious skin. So, by development of skin, certain animals are able to conserve water from the body. Impervious skin help to prevent the water loss through evaporation. Skin become hygroscopic, that is resistant to water, we can say. It is also covered by scales, spines, scutes, and the shield. For example, that is of Moloch herodotus, we can say skin of desert lizard. Then second is the burrowing and the nocturnal habitat. So basically they perform all their activities during the night time only, and in the daytime they live in the burrows made by them. Then estivation. So desert animals like pocket mouse, kangaroo rat protect themselves from the hot climate and become inactive, which protect the water loss. Then excretion. So mostly deserts, insect, reptiles, and birds excrete uric acid as a waste product because water is not required, so they pass it in the concentrated state, or we can say in the form of pellets. Then epigrams. So some desert animals produce epigrams and secretions to prevent the loss of water from the body. Then tissues. So they possess certain sort of tissues, that is camel have developed tolerance to live in desert. Okay, for like this. Then absence of the sweat glands. So they do not possess sweat glands, that is the, for example, desert rodents and ruminants, they do not have sweat glands. Okay, then for example is the African antelope, which is a desert mammal that do not possess the sweat gland. Then the reduced rate of metabolism, that is by they reduce their metabolic rate so that they are able to conserve the water. And at last, avoid moisture during the respiration. So this is all about for the conservation of water. Then next is the water getting adaptation that they possess. So first is migration. They, that is the desert animals migrate to longer places for drinking the water. Then water holes. There are some sort of water holes that are present in the desert. So they get the water from there. Getting water from the food. Okay, that is rabbits and turtles need very less water, so they take succulent and the fleshy plants which fulfills the need of the water that required by them. Then water from the blood. Desert carnivore animals take water in the form of the prey's blood that they eat. Then hygroscopic skin they have, that is the spiny lizard absorb the water from the moisture like a blotting paper. Then intestinal storage, for example we can see in camel. Then water from the metabolism. And some possess the life without water, that is many desert birds can survive even without drinking water, as black throated bird, zebra finch, etc. Then the heat tolerance adaptation. So heat resistance, that is the animals of desert can tolerate high level of temperatures. Tolerance against dehydration, that is mostly animals die if 20% water dehydrate from their body, but camel can survive if 40% water lose from its body without any problem. Then absence of adipose tissue. So the thick layer of the fat is absent in the desert animals as a camel. So in camel the fat is accumulated in the hump. This adaptation speed up the flow of heat out from the body. Then they have certain more adaptations from the protection also, just like we can say fasting of the speed, etc. So this is a diagram showing the lizard showing the protection against the heat. Basically this is a method of a locomotion which keep the body away from the hot sun. That is first position is this and this. So it is a method of locomotion. So as fast as a lizard can move, it can protect itself from the scorching heat, or we can say the hot sand. Then again this is example diagram of head of a camel protecting from the wind. So basically it has two adaptations. First is the eyes that are with long lashes so that sand particles cannot get inside, and again a nostril that prevents the nose from the sand particles. Then this is a camel foot, that is it has webbed foot so that it can easily walk on the sand. Okay, we can say the scorching sand. So this is also an adaptation of a desert animal. Then it is a part of a camel's stomach showing the rumen with the water cells. So basically it is rumen, the water cells that are flask shape so that they can store the water easily. So up now is the plant adaptation. So first is reduction of leaves. So basically plants reduce their leaves so as to protect themselves from the evaporation. Development of stem as a photosynthetic structure, that is they basically perform the photosynthetic activity from their stem itself, that is they made their food from the stem itself. Then water storage in the stem, they store the water. There are some sort of succulent plants which store the water in their stems. Development of defense structure like spines, it also help them from their evaporation. Then coating with the thick waxy cuticle, coating of hairs, that is trichomes, and extensive underground root system they will develop so that they will we can say obtain the water from the underground very deep inside the earth, so that if there is low availability of water they can easily obtain the water from the underground earth, we can say. Then the example of the animals that are found on in desert, first is camel, iguana, sidewinder snake, desert tortoise, and the bandicoot. Then plants, so mesquite tree, creosote bush, and the cactus. Then this is a diagram, we can say the food web, or we can say the food chain, basically depicting the desert biome. So here first of all the primary producers, that is in the form of succulent plants like cactus and all other plants basically. So cacti, creosote bushes, annual flowers were there, and rabbit brush and sage brushes. And at the primary consumer level, which are basically plant eaters, some sort of insects, lizards, rodents, kangaroo, and the rats were there. Then at the third stage, that is we can say secondary consumer level, small predators, carnivores, and insectivores, that is insect eaters were present, that is tarantulas, scorpions, these are the insect eaters. Then lizard, then snakes eat the rodents, and we can see the kangaroo rats. And then lizard is being eaten by hawk, and snake is bitten by the kit fox. So these are the large predators, or we can say the tertiary consumers. So this is all about the desert biome topic. Hope you will like my video. So please, if you do like my video, do subscribe my channel.